Alrighty, guys. So this is the new setup. Got my writing pad and my camera over here, and I'm gonna just really test out this new setup. But I wanted to make an explanatory video so it's at least useful for you guys, or entertaining at the very least. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what I do in my demand system estimation videos for recovering prices from expenditure data. And this is, just what I do. So what you should note before going and watching this is that this is not a peer-reviewed way of doing things. At least from what I know, I haven't seen anyone do what I'm about to do. If you do see people doing it, please let me know so I can go and give credit where credit's due. But right now, this is how I'm hacking things. And the reason why this question is important to me is because oftentimes demand systems require, need to slow down, data on prices only, as well as expenditure. And the best example of this would be the almost ideal demand system, so i.e. the AIDS system. So let's go and work through the actual procedure for hacking this data. So we note that expenditure data at time t, or expenditure on good I at time t, is made up of the following identity. And this is, a very, cute identity. And in an ideal world, if we can simply find this data being equal to PIT. So that's the video, guys. You guys can go and like and subscribe. But no, seriously speaking, the question is, how do we recover this data when we don't have information on this stuff here, and we don't have information on this stuff here? So what exactly do we do? So I'm just going to clean that up there. What I end up going and doing is that I note that this here is a lot smaller than this here, right? By analogy, if you were to go and look at data on apples, or expenditure on apples, right? Let's say it's 5 cents an apple. If you're going to be looking at that sort of data, you might just go and see expenditure, which is going to be $100,000. So that's not really telling us anything, but we know that the price here is going to be a lot smaller than this here. So in general, right, we can say that the process that's driving this here is going to be this one here. So this is like the main component, and this is more clearly seen in terms of logs, right? So let's go put a log here, log PIT plus log XIT. So that's what we go and we have here. And really, how exactly do we capture this point here? How do we go and get this? So the way I do it is by doing as follows. So step one, I'm going to go and take the log of EIT, and I'm going to go regress it on time. Beta naught plus beta 1. Let's call it EXP. And the reason why I'm going and raising it to the exponent of time is because depending on the data generating process that you have, if you go and you look at this, at your log expenditure over time, and you have something like this, the best way to decompose it is by going and taking this point here. And then for step 2, save the residuals, right? We're going to save our residuals. So over here, we're going to go and save those residuals. And what I'm going to go and argue, right, very informally, that this is our log PIT. This is what our log PIT. So what we did in our fitted values here, that goes and embodies the quantity amount, because this portion here captures a lot of the variation in our expenditure, while the small amount here, the small number, is going to be embodied in our residuals. So how well does this argument go and hold up? So I'm going to actually show you some data from what I've done, and we're going to go and see. So let's go. So these are my empirics that I go and I have here from the data set in the Almost Ideal Demand System package from R. So what I have here, EP at the bottom, that's our estimated prices, and TP here, those are our true prices. So what I end up going and doing is that I want to go and say, okay, how accurate are my estimates? So I compare these estimated prices to these logged true prices, and I plot them on each other, right? And I want to go and see what it's like. So what we can end up going and seeing is that we end up getting these straight lines. It's not a one-to-one relationship, obviously, but we can view these as linear transformations of this data. And the reason why that's important is because we can preserve the relative prices between these two goods, right? And if we're able to preserve that relative prices between these two goods, or any two goods really, we can go and make accurate welfare claims. We can make accurate claims about changes in welfare, and that's one of the main important things. Now, this is if you want to go and estimate a more complicated demand system. And honestly, if you just have expenditure data, estimating the linear expenditure system is probably the way to go. But this is what I'm playing with, and I want to know what you guys think about what this is. So let me know what you think. Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Is there something wrong here? Because I want to be told that I'm wrong about this. I'd like to go and see if there are any issues with this, because I don't think I'm making any breakthroughs with these results, but I think it's a way to go and run more complicated demand systems when you don't necessarily have the data to go and do that and still make interesting results or gain some interesting insights. So I hope this video is enjoyable, and I hope it helps you guys. Take care.